Hi, and welcome to week 11 of Princess Fairytale Challenge training. This week's princess is Tiana. Alright, so as I mentioned last week, this is an outfit test week. The 10K at Disney World is Tiana themed, so I decided to kind of go with Charlotte LaBeouf, or Lottie. She wears a lot of pink, so I got my pink going. And I actually had a headband like this one, different color for my Mushu outfit, and it kept sliding off my head. So I actually took a note from one of Kristen Running in Makeup's videos when she would put the rough side of Velcro on her ears, and I have some Velcro on the headband. I think it's still sliding, so I don't know how well this headband thing's gonna work. Might have to ditch the headbands. But in keeping with my sidekick theme, I have a little frog. This is actually a really cheap dog toy I found. I did have a squeaker. I took the squeaker out, but I got my little frog. So as I get this run going, it is Saturday. So on the Galloway plan, it's a 4-mile run, so I decided to make my 4 miles my steady state pace workout, which is where I warm up and then 40 minutes of half marathon pace and then a cool down. So let me get into this warm up, and before I start the half marathon part, we'll talk a little bit about Tiana. I would kiss a frog. I would kiss 100 frogs if it meant I could marry a prince and be a princess. Gotta love Lottie. Okay, almost done with warm up. As you can see, I've already lost the headband. The Velcro, rough side of Velcro didn't work for this particular situation. So if you have any ideas on how to get the headbands to stay, leave them in the comments because I'd appreciate that. Okay, so Princess and the Frog. Another one of my favorites, and I'm so excited I get a medal with Tiana on it. So excited. Love the music in this movie. It's so good. Almost There has always been on my running playlist. Love it. So, and very basic but a very good message in the movie. We all have things that we want. All kinds of things that we want, but some of the times those things that we want aren't really what we need, you know? Oh goodness. And how much of a parallel is that to the Christian life? How many times we ask God for things, and when He doesn't give it to us, we get upset. We don't think about the fact that majority of the time, if not all the time, it means that's not what you need. I have something better, so much better planned. Okay, so I'm walking on a downhill now, so let me get a little jog going. Let me get this steady state going. I'll catch up with you at the end. Yes, that is ice. It's been well below freezing the past few nights. Okay, I got a good 5 miles out of that steady state pace, even though my plan, the Galloway plan only calls for 4, but I needed to do it's good half marathon practice, so I'm so sorry. I'm like losing my voice all of a sudden. And I'm sorry if those wind chimes are distracting. I'm cooling down a little bit before I go back inside. So I found some verses, of course, for what I was talking about earlier, what the movie Princess and the Frog reminds me of, how sometimes we think we need certain things, but they're really just wants, and God always has, the best in mind for us. A really common one, Romans chapter 8, verse 28. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. That's a good one for me to remember right now. If you remember last week, we're just meddling our way through this puppy thing, and it seems, overall in my mind, it's, there are far worse problems that, a person could have than, just trying to figure out what this new life with 2 dogs is going to be like. But sometimes it is a little stressful. But I do know that even if though it does seem like something small, that, you know, there's a lesson for me to learn in all of this. It may not be a lesson I like, but it's a lesson nonetheless. Well, there's the one that I didn't even need to look up, Jeremiah 29:11, for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not harm you, plans to give you a hope in a future. That's, you know, a classic, easily forgotten, but it's something we should always try to remember. Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, that by testing you may discern what is the will of God, what is good and acceptable and perfect. I think a lot of times, you know, we're in this world and the world tells us we need certain things that we may not necessarily actually need and is not super helpful. So that's a good one too. I love this one, Romans chapter 5, verse 8. But God shows his love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. I absolutely love that. That, you know, that was his purpose for coming, was to be that perfect sacrifice so that we could be with God forever in, you know, paradise for eternity. It's such an amazing thing. So, I mean, the Bible's full of those promises that God knows what's best for us. So you just gotta go look and find it. You know, I'm awful about the quiet time, and I'm sorry, my husband's on a tractor, so if you hear that in the background, that's what it is. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope everyone's training is going well. And one of my favorite, another one of my favorite Lottie quotes is, I'm sweating like a sinner in church, except that I'm not, because it is really cold out here. So I'm gonna go inside and get warmed up. Like this video, comment, like I said earlier, if you have any suggestions on how to get this headband to stay on my head. If you have any favorite lines from Princess and the Frog, there's some good ones. And be sure to subscribe to see what princess we're doing next week. Next week is going to be a good one. And for the record, this has not been in a dog's mouth. It's perfect. You know, I'm the only one that's handled it. So my little friend will be coming with me to Disney here in just a few short weeks. Always remember that you are God's masterpiece. I'll see you next time.